Okay, kids, we're diving into a monster topic this week, one that could last forever, and yet uh, we have a certain degree of limited time here on Earth. So let's see what we can do in just a few minutes every day this week with regard to knowledge. It is my avowed and unabashed intention that as the result of participating this week, that we would all be endowed with great and powerful new knowledge. That's just, I'm going to aim here at the start as the result of participating and listening in and your own participation in it, then we gain great new knowledge. Okay, well, what did Francis Bacon say? He said a lot of things, but he's most well known for saying knowledge is power. He was one of the first great scientists of the enlightened scientific revolution. There was a time when scientists were known as natural philosophers, and then the term changed to scientist. But back in those days, natural philosopher was the term, and these great ancestors and precursors to ourselves that began to unwind the physical world and began to draw men up out of superstitions and misapprehensions and well, just flat out ignorance, have done mankind obviously an enormous service, that we began to find the power that is in, that was in, and is in knowledge. And this seemed to be a very special kind of knowledge, three-dimensional knowledge of the world, and the ability to develop the tools and the scientific method, of course, that allowed developing hypotheses and trial and error experiments so that we could find out not what we wanted to find out, not what we expected to find out, not what we demanded to find out, but what the nature of truth actually was. And of course, this has unlocked the three-dimensional world to a level beyond our wildest imaginings. The difference between the way humans lived 300 or 400 years ago in relation to what's going on now, and the rapid, astonishing, unbelievable acceleration in what humans are able to do. This is a wonderful kind of knowledge. And I'm going to talk about a different kind of knowledge, because the kind of that kind of worldly knowledge, you guys went to school and you guys remember cramming for tests, and you know the kind of knowledge that had to be gained very quickly and held on to for a brief moment so that you could take the test and pass it. And then that kind of knowledge generally evaporated with within a couple of days. And the kind of knowledge that we've really acquired over life that has made you an expert in your field, you've embedded that and you've assimilated that, and you can express it without forgetting it because you've done it every single day, or you did it every single day for a very long time. You moved to the top of your field. This is wonderful knowledge as well. But this week I'm going to talk about the kind of knowledge that, here's the phrase. Many people on YouTube will make fun of me. I'm going to talk about supernatural knowledge, because if Francis Bacon said knowledge is power, I'm going to say super knowledge. It's hard to say. Supernatural knowledge is supernatural power. I may never try to say that ever again. Supernatural knowledge is supernatural power. I just have to slow down. So, what I'm seeking to impart and what I pray that we can all gain this week is what I would call supernatural knowledge. And maybe it has to be gained very slowly over time. But it's the kind of knowledge that is not of details, and it's not of three-dimensional arrangements and proximities of details and logistics. I'm talking about the kind of knowledge that delivers truth. Now I'm going to talk about truth with a capital T. And that's the kind of truth. What's a great definition of truth? Very hard to define. Real truth solves problems, delivers harmony, heals issues, reminds us of who we are, delivers us to our true place in life, gives us creativity, originality, and the ability to enjoy and delight in the great gift of life. That's the kind of knowledge with a capital K that I'm going for this week. And I'm suggesting that the kind of knowledge that we're going to acquire this week is not the kind that has to be grasped or grabbed or studying all night long with 11 cups of coffee and you hold on to it for a brief moment and then it disappears. I'm talking about the kind of knowledge that we, in effect, align with, that we become so quiet that it is downloaded into us. And we know that it is because we can literally feel it as sort of a visceral kind of knowledge, the kind of knowledge that you know you love your kid, and you know you love your mate, and you know you love what you love. That's the kind of knowledge I'm looking for. I'm setting the table. I'm all for Francis Bacon knowledge. I'm all for knowledge equals power and being able to wrestle the world into what we want it to be. But that kind of knowledge is a terrifying double-edged sword, because while we're making MRIs to cure disease, we're also making nuclear weapons to annihilate ourselves 50,000 times over. That might be knowledge with a small k. This week, this group is going to acquire great knowledge with a capital K, the kind that helps us to solve problems, bring harmony, love, originality, and creativity. Okay, I've set the stage with a few tongue fumbles, but it was fun, and I hope to gain more knowledge myself. I will see you tomorrow.